Thank you, Madam Chair. Senator Sanders, I'm one of those that doesn't understand why golden parachutes are provided by boards ever. Doesn't make any sense to me to pay someone to leave a ton of money. Not that you change the law. I'm just saying I can't figure out why a board would do such a thing. Worth looking into. I appreciate the work that each of you do and the effort that you make to help the people of our country have healthier lives and have long lives. And I realize that science is not all-knowing, and from time to time there are mistakes. That's the nature of humankind. But appreciate very much the work that you do and want to express my appreciation personally for that. I do have an issue that is tangentially related to what you do, but related to the administration in which you're part of, and that is that back in March, I and a number of other members of this committee sent a letter to the administration asking for an accounting of how the prior COVID relief money had been spent, and then also how new money that was being requested for emergency supplemental would be spent. And as part of that response to that letter, the administration released a statement regarding the lack of potential funding for going forward. And I want to read a couple of excerpts from that letter. One is, quote, "The federal government is unable to purchase additional life-saving monoclonal antibody treatments and will run out of supply to send to states as soon as late May. The federal government cannot purchase sufficient quantities of treatments for immunocompromised individuals, and the federal government will be unable to sustain the testing capacity we built over the last 14 months. And then continuing, ending the purchase of monoclonal antibody treatments, scaling back state and territorial allocations, inability to purchase additional oral antiviral pills, inability to purchase new antivirals, scaling back planned purchases of preventative treatments." Again, what the administration provided to us in Congress in response to our letter was that the administration would be unable to purchase therapeutics and monoclonal antibodies, unable to purchase. Madam Chair, I'd ask unanimous consent that this release from the administration be entered into the record.
Without objection. So
now, in good faith, I and a number of other people worked over a number of months with members of this party and across the aisle to develop a supplemental bill providing the $10 billion to address this inability to purchase these things without the $10 billion. But you can imagine my surprise when I find out that on June 8th, the federal government did in fact prioritize $5 billion for the purchase of additional vaccines, $4.9 billion for therapeutics, and $300 million for additional monoclonal antibodies. But it chose not to do so in February, March, April, or May, again saying they had inability to do so. So the administration has recklessly and unilaterally spent taxpayers' money. We've run away inflation, but instead of taking a real inventory of funds they had at their disposal, they said, hey, we need more money. Now, Washington operates on a relationship of trust between the respective parties, the administration and Congress. For the administration to provide information to us that was patently false is something which dramatically attacks that trust, which I have, members of my party have, members of both parties have. And I hope that there's an appreciation that for the administration to say they could not purchase these things and then after several months divert some funds and then purchase them is unacceptable and makes our ability to work together and have confidence in what we're being told very much shaken to the core. I would ask this question. If the administration knew in March that it was feasible to buy these things, do you know why they waited to actually do so? Any one of you can respond. Dr. Fauci, you're on the hot seat on the camera, so we'll give it to you. I hope you feel better, by the way.
Yeah, thank you very much, Senator. I think that question is probably best given to Assistant Secretary Dawn O'Connell.
thank you, Dr. Fauci. Thank you, Senator Romney. And thank you for your support in trying to get additional funds freed for us to manage the COVID response.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they weren't needed. I wouldn't have worked as hard with Leader Schumer and with others over many weeks and intensive negotiations and gone to my colleagues and told them these monies were necessary, had I been told that in fact they weren't necessary. And I know money is all, you're going to tell me that, hey, we needed to spend money on other things, we had to divert it, but that we could have been told, but we weren't told that. We were told we could not purchase therapeutics or monoclonal antibodies, and now you have.
And we had to do so with significant trade-offs that none of us wanted to make.
But we should have been, we're part of Congress. When you're asking us for $10 billion, we should be apprised of what those trade-offs are and have that discussion and help make that decision together. You shouldn't be able to say, hey, we're looking at trade-offs. We're not going to tell you about them. Just give us some more money. Isn't that not unacceptable in a relationship between an administration and Congress?
We've worked hard to be transparent with our funding needs, and again, I've appreciated the support you've given us in trying to unlock additional funds. Making the decision to spend this money, taking it away from critical programs is absolutely difficult, and it's something we didn't think was acceptable. We're now at a point, because Congress has not given us additional funding, that we've had to do these things that are unacceptable.
Well, my time is up. I just say we agreed on one word, and that is unacceptable. Thank you.